Hi, I'm Rachel Donegan. I am the Howe Library's Emerging Technologies Librarian, and I am here to show you how to make something every week. This is Howe Makers. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Howe Makers. Today we're looking at Scratch, which is a great free online program that lets you use a block-based coding language to make all sorts of fun games and stories and animations. So if you've used Scratch before, you can jump right in, and this project will make a lot of sense. If you have never used Scratch before, you may want to go back and look at my beginner Scratch video, which goes into just the very, very basics of how to use Scratch if you've never used it before. This video assumes that you've played around with Scratch a little bit and maybe just want to try a different kind of project. So here we are in our Scratch project page. I have chosen this rabbit as my sprite, and I have chosen this forest backdrop. So backdrops are selected here, sprites you select here. So when we have this rabbit clicked, everything we code for this sprite will happen to that sprite. So the first thing we're going to do is move left and right. So again, we're making a chase game. So the rabbit is going to chase a bowl of fruit. So the first thing we need to do is go to our control blocks and choose the when space key pressed. And we need 2 of those. And we're going to change these to right arrow and left arrow. This is how our little sprite is going to get around. So when we do push the arrow keys, we want the rabbit to move back and forth. So we're going to go back up to motion, and we're going to change X by 10 for the right arrow. That's a positive direction. And then we will do the same thing, except we're going to choose a negative number, because we want it to go in the left direction. So that would be the negative direction. So we could test this out. Okay, so every time I click this block of code, my rabbit moves backwards, and every time I click this one, it moves forward. So I can also use the left and right keys to test this out. And it seems to be working great. So you probably guessed it, but now we have to make our rabbit move up and down. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go over here to our when key is pressed, and we know we can change that key. So we're going to change this one to up arrow, and this one is going to be down arrow, and motion, change Y. So we want the Y-axis is how we go up and down. So when we go up, we're going to go in the positive direction. And when we go down, we're going to go in the negative direction. Oops. I'm going to change this to -10. All right. And now we can try it. Down arrow. There we go. Up arrow goes up. Now we need a sprite for the rabbit to chase. So we're going to add a sprite down here. And I'm going to find the fruit bowl. Oh, there it is, fruit salad. And I did do this with the rabbit too. I didn't mention this. The size right here was 100, and what I did to the rabbit is I switched this to 50. So I'm going to do the same thing with the fruit bowl. Ooh, that is very small. Well, that's okay. It'll be very hard to catch. So over here under events, when the game starts, when the green flag is clicked, the fruit bowl is going to glide to a random position. Because I have to chase it, I don't want to know where it's going. I want it to go to a random place. So I'm going to do glide, and I think I'm going to do 0.5 to make it a little harder. 0.5, so it's going to go a little bit faster. The bigger number, the more seconds I put in here, the slower it's going to glide. So if I do a shorter amount of time, it's going to glide a lot faster, and it's going to go to a random position. And I do have to do a forever block here as well, because I want it to keep going. So when I click the green flag, it's going to glide 0.5 seconds to a random position. And it's going to just keep doing that over and over and over again. So let's try it, see what happens. Ooh, that fruit bowl is pretty fast. Look at that. Okay, and we can stop this by hitting our stop sign right here. So now we're going to have a sound play every time the bunny hits the fruit. So every time I catch the fruit with my bunny, a sound will play. So I got to make sure I'm on my bunny sprite, which I am, and we're going to drag this block over, which is the beginning of the game. When you click the green flag, the game begins. And we want this to, I'm going to pull out a couple other blocks here, forever. And we're also going to pull out an if-then statement because we don't want it to happen all the time. We just want it to happen when the bunny reaches the fruit. So we have to do a sensing block so that it knows we have an input. So, and then you can see the shape of this block fits into this shape here. That's how you sort of know which blocks to fit in. So if the bunny is touching the fruit salad, then we're going to have a sound play. So we're going to go up here to the sound blocks, play sound, and we get to choose the sound that we play. We're going to do that over here in the sounds tab. And I'm going to go to choose a sound, and I'm going to go to wacky because the wacky sounds are pretty funny. So if you mouse over them, you can actually hear a little preview. So that was the zip. That was the wobble. Whiz. So you can play with these for a long time. Oh, the squish pop. I kind of like that one. Let's choose that one. And now we can play it here. And we can see what the sound looks like on this graph here. And we can play around with the length of it, whether it plays faster or slower. Kind of like the faster, because it's just going to be a momentary thing. So we're good there. We have our sound here. We can go back to code. And now we can pick that sound from our drop-in. There it is, squish pop. And when we click on this, we can preview it. So every time our rabbit hits the fruit, we hear that sound. Next, we're going to add a score, sort of a scorecard to our game. So for this, we need to make our own variable. So we're going to go down here to variables, make a variable, and we're going to call it score. And then we're going to do set my variable to, and change this to score. So we're going to set the score to 0 at the beginning of the game. So every time the game starts, it's going to be, obviously it's going to start the score again at 0. And now we want to change the score every time the sound plays, right? Every time the rabbit touches the fruit salad, we're going to hear a sound, and we're also going to make the score go up by 1. So we're going to change the score by 1. All right. Now, let's try that out. So I'm going to hit the green arrow. So you can see now we have the score window up here. I'm going to try to paste that. Oop, I got it. It is a little bit easier to get now with the slightly slower fruit, but it's still not easy. There we go. So you can see my score is now 5. So every time the rabbit hits the fruit, or in this case the fruit hits the rabbit, my score goes up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do in our game is make a sort of a finish screen. So our game is going to end when the score hits 10 points, and then we're going to get a different screen and a banner that says you win. So we can have an ending to our game. So first thing we're going to do is add a sound so that we have a sound to oh, and I've already added it. So here's our ta-da sound. So I went down here and clicked this button, and then I chose the ta-da. So that's going to be my final sound, and we can listen to it. So that is the final sound that we're going to hear. So we're going to go back to code, and I already dragged out one of these. So when the game begins, we're going to switch the backdrop. We're going to actually have the default backdrop be the forest. That's the one we see here at the beginning of the game. And then we are going to wait until. I'm going to go down here to the wait until block, pull that out. Oops. Wait until, and we want to wait until the score equals 10. So we're going to go here, and we're going to change this one to 10. 50 would be a very long game. We're going to go back down to our variable and grab our score variable and drag that into this space here. So wait until the score equals 10, and then we're going to change the backdrop to the winning screen, which is the pathway, and it already defaulted to that. And we're also going to play a sound. So when the backdrop switches to pathway at the end of the game, we're going to play a sound. Play sound, ta-da, until done. And now we have just one more step, which is to do a banner that says "you win" on the bottom, or it could be you can actually write anything you want. You can say "yay bunny" or whatever you want to say for this one. So we're going to go down to the sprite spot here, and we're going to go to paint. So we're going to create our own sprite, and we're going to use the text tool, and we're going to write "you win," and then we can change the color of our font. Thought a yellow might be nice. There we go, something nice and bright. We can make it bigger by dragging this out. We can move around, we can decide where it's gonna display. I think I'm gonna display it down, maybe right in the middle, right there. Let's see how that is. There we go. And it is going to be on my other backdrop too, so we will just have to see what it's going to look like. And so we have to go back to code. And so I do have this sprite selected that we just created, so that is that's where I want to do my code. I'm going to hide this sprite until the backdrop changes to our second backdrop. Backdrop switches to pathway, which is our second one. Then we're going to have it show up. And then we're going to wait. Two seconds, and then we're going to have it hide again. All right, so now we are all done with our game. So now we can test it all out and see what happens. And there might be a problem in here. We might have a little debugging to do, which is what coders or programmers call it when they have a mistake and they have to find the mistake and fix it. You can also just make adjustments. If the fruit bowl moves too fast, you can slow it down. You can make the score to win the game 20 instead of 10. You are the designer, the developer of this game. You can do whatever you want. So let's try it out. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. There we go. And you can see my score did go to 0, which is good. Ooh, that fruit bowl, man. So you can go play my game if you follow me. I'm Fluffy Unicorn 1974, and you can go in and I will share this game when I'm done. I don't think I'm currently sharing it because it wasn't done yet, but now that it's done, I will share it, and you can go in and play the game and try it out. You can even look inside my game and change a few things if you want. So you can use this as a basis for your own game. And like my fruit bowl keeps going in this case, so I might go in there and code it to stop once the backdrop changes or something like that. So you can see this game still has some work to do, but I'm pretty happy with it, and it's pretty fun to play and listen to. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy playing around with Scratch and looking at other people's projects and sharing your own projects on Scratch. And I'll see you next time. Bye.